We're going?
Yep.
Oh, well, hello there, everyone. Oi, oi. And welcome to the Derp channel. My name is Ski Nerd, and over to my right is Mr. Derp of the Derp channel. Anyways, we got a review today of One Piece, the first part of the thriller Bark. Oh, I gotta turn that down. The thriller Bark. Uh,
Through the bark park arc.
yes, say that 8 times fast. Holy crap! You probably like chew off your own tongue if you tried to do that. Anyways, before we get started, as always, we got mugs, we got T-shirts, we got sweatshirts, we got a whole plethora of stuff down in the description box below, down there, and then like and subscribe if you wish. Uh, and if you have any suggestions of what you want us to talk about, specifically in One Piece, maybe we missed something, leave a comment down below and tell us and yell at us and say, hey, you guys suck. We will take that and take it in stride. Anyways, first of all, we did not talk about the fight between Blackbeard and Ash last time.
Ace.
Damn it, I just did that again. Blackbeard and Ace last time. Uh, missed that one episode. It was like a huge episode. It had nothing to do with anything, but it had to do with everything.
It had to do with a lot of things.
Yeah, and now with Luffy specifically. So we're gonna talk about that first, and then we're gonna get into Thriller Bark and talk about the Shadow lore, which they do talk a lot about, and we get a new character, and he's great. And please watch the show.
Yo!
Yes, please watch the show. I don't really care for that part, but I like the singing part. That's really cool. When he's just coming along, literally best entrance ever.
Please, will you show me
Holy
your
crap!
panties?
Yes. Yes, we will show you all of our panties because you're so great and awesome. Anyways, uh,
And
first to the fight. What do you have to say?
tears would come to my eyes if I had them.
That's how the crew and everyone else reacts to his stupid bone jokes. Because they're just jokes, but they're stupid. Alright, let's get into this fight. So basically, there's a lot of back and forth, talking wise between them. Ash finally finds Blackbeard.
Ace.
Blackbeard, damn it, son of a bitch. Ace, I wrote Ash in my notes. I wrote Ash in my notes too. Oh my god.
Everybody that's playing the world's smallest violin.
Alright, Ace finds Blackbeard.
Or let's put a counter up on how many times he calls him Ash. Not just tonight. Every other time, because you have
Tonight.
every time we've mentioned Ace.
I'm gonna keep calling him Ash because he does look like Ash Ketchum from Palatown. Um, let's see. So Ash finds Blackbeard, and
That's three. You just said Ash.
God damn it. I'm not doing this on purpose, I swear. I look at my notes and I'm like, oh, I wrote it wrong. Oh, yeah, Ash. Right away. God.
And this is not scripted.
Ace. Well, none of this is scripted. Oh my god. Okay, Ace finds Blackbeard, and they're on an island called Bonaro Island. And Ace says to Blackbeard, hey, I finally caught you. You did a horrible thing, and you know what you did. And Blackbeard defends himself, basically saying, um, hey, first of all, I want you to join my crew, Ace, because you're really strong. You're the commander of the 2nd Division, or whatever it is. And we learned that, because with the conversation between Shanks and Whitebeard, that Blackbeard killed a fellow crewmate, and that is punishable by death, pretty much. He committed treason, and so that's why Ace is there, and they start getting into it, and Ace almost gets recruited. No, I'm just kidding. He rejects Blackbeard's invitation, and we learn that Blackbeard has plans, and his plans are to overthrow Whitebeard and kill the Straw Hat, Luffy. Well, as soon as he says that, Ace doesn't want to hear anything because Blackbeard doesn't know that the Straw Hat is Ace's brother. And so he's like, absolutely not. You will not kill my brother. And Blackbeard starts to sweat a little bit. He's like, oh crap, I didn't know he was your brother. Oh man. And he just wants to go after them, even though he met him. He just wants to go after them for the money and prestige. Um, so we get a little fight going, a lot of back and forth, a lot of cool moves, things like fire gun and flame commandment, fire pillar, and fire fist. Kaboom! Ah, ah, and you're like, wow, he has cool, awesome powers. There's no way Blackbeard can survive. How can he survive? Well, he does survive. And we learn that Blackbeard has a devil fruit power, which is a Logia or Logia devil fruit called the Dark fruit, and he's able to control dark. That's pretty much what it is. Um, he also explains that, oh, Ace, you have a Logia power too. It's fire. Because at the beginning of the episode, he gets shot by the sniper guy in Blackbeard's group, and the bullet goes right through him. But Blackbeard has been waiting 20, 30 years for this moment. Probably 20 years. Um, he was looking for a very specific fruit, and the reason why he killed a fellow crew member was because this crew member got the fruit that he wanted. So he killed him and stole the fruit and ate it for himself, um, which was the dark fruit. And I don't know how he knows about it, um, but somehow he got information on that fruit. He was looking for a specific one, and he wanted a really powerful one, and he definitely got it. And he basically shows off his powers, um, and he's about to do this his attack called Black Hole. So as he starts his attack, this black substance covers the town that they're in, and all the people in the town run away. All his fellow crew members run away, except for Ash, who's not scared of Blackbeard at all, and he just covers it, and everything that's covered in black gets condensed basically by gravity. It goes all he basically sucks in all these things into the black, and it just crushes it. And when he's done with it, nothing but rubble has remained. Um, which is an insane power. And you're like, oh crap! No wonder Shanks got a scar on his eye, and he was barely able to make it out, kind of thing. That's freaky deaky, scary. Anyways, um, there's some more fighting, and we get an attack called Liberation, Firefly, Fiery Doll. The Firefly one was actually really cool. Um, there's a bunch of like random like green lights, and they surround Blackbeard, and it just bursts into flames. Um, uh, and Blackbeard describes his powers to Ash. I said that wrong again, son of a bitch. Ace, um, that
That's four.
he feels more pain with his power, but he's able to absorb people's power. So he can absorb, if you have a devil fruit, he can if he touches you, he can nullify your devil fruit power. Um, so with Ace, I was really close with Ace. He um, um, he can take away his firepower. Now he's just a regular human, and he can be punched basically. So just like with Enel with his lightning power, if Blackbeard was able to touch Enel, he would nullify all his lightning powers, which is crazy. So we get this move called Black Vortex, uh, and describe it as the Dryan DF. Oh, he can draw in Devil Fruit user's physical body and take away Devil Fruit powers when touching them, which is awesome. Then Ash is really mad and he's like, I need to get away from this guy. So he does.
5.
God damn it, Ace. Saint. I'm glad you're counting because I wouldn't have noticed. Saint Elmo's Fire, which is cool. Flame Commandment, Flame Emperor, and Ace. I actually wrote it correct this time. Says I'm gonna make Whitebeard. He wants to make Whitebeard the king, like the king of the pirates, because he respects him so much, and he doesn't want Blackbeard to win. Um, and this fight that happens, the narrator says it. It's surprising that we have a narrator because we never have a narrator. This fight is a trigger for a massive incident, and this incident happened like I think it said 3 days before Luffy declared war on the government.
Yep.
Um, and that was this whole episode. There was a lot in this just one episode, um, and I love this. I love this fight. We've seen a lot of moves. We've seen a lot of fights so far, but seeing it's like seeing in Naruto the third Hokage versus Orochimaru um, at the very beginning of Naruto. It's an epic fight like that. You were like, wow, these are masters of their fight. They've been fighting for a long time, and they're super powerful. It's like, what can they do? And basically, Ace is on par with Blackbeard, which is crazy. Um, and just this now we get to see Blackbeard's powers and what his intentions are. Um, so, anyways, that's that. 14 out of 10 for that battle. That's great. I totally recommend that episode. Um, I think it's 325 or something. Yeah. 337. Oh, no. 325. It is 325. I was correct. All right. Do you have anything to say about that fight?
No.
No? Okay.
I may have a week ago when we should have covered it.
Yeah, well, that's my bad. All right, so then we have filler. We do get to learn some things about the what's it called, the Thousand Sunny,
Mm-hmm.
um, and Frankie makes he has like 0 through 5 on his or sorry 0 through 4 on his wheelie thing, and we get to see um, the soldier dock system. 5 docks for handling different situations. We see Channel Zero, which is a cola fueled paddle ship. It's called the Paddle Ship Sunny. And Channel 3, which is the Shark Submerge 3, is basically a submarine. Um, Later on, we see a couple more, which we'll talk about right now, I guess. Let's see. Where were they at? Oh, the channel 1 was a white hobby horse waiver. So he changed. Frankie was remodeling Nami's waiver, and at the beginning of this of the season, he's doing that, and she gets pissed at him. It's really bad. It's like you don't mess with Nami's waiver. I'm sorry, no matter what it is. It's like I don't know what this technology is, but I like it. Um, and the Channel 2, which is the mini Mary, and this makes Usopp really happy. He's just like, oh my god, just like Mary, and it has the same like Um, what do they think? What's that thing called at the front of the ship?
The
Not the mast. The head of the ship, I
the
guess.
prow.
The prow, whatever it's called. If you know what it's called, leave a comment down below or something. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know ships. I'm not an expert. Um, but anyway, so that's kind of cool about the Thousand Sunny. Um, so what we're gonna do is what we did last time is talk about like the main points of the story so far, and then we're gonna get into uh, something that's very interesting, which is the shadow lore and how that all works. Because there was like one or two episodes where Brooke, that we will find out.
Bow.
Oh, the bow of the ship. Brooke, he talks a lot about how the shadow
I was close.
stuff works. Yeah, no, no, you got it. I think I called it the brow. You called the prow, and I was like, brow. Off by one letter. It counts. It counts. All right. Anyways, um, oh right. All right. So let's go over the main points, and we'll get to the different characters. There's a lot of characters in this one. Oh my god. All right. So the first one is
Luckily, to my memory, there isn't much in the second or third episode, third part, because the first part introduces all the characters.
yeah. No, that makes sense. There's a lot of characters. You can tell he's evolving with how he tells a story and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I want to get my characters out there, and then we'll tell the story, which is amazing. Anyways, uh, I think I said this already. Frankie remodels Nami's waiver, and she gets all mad, blah blah blah. She's like, "How dare you!" and she's like punching him and stuff. Um, we meet a new person who is in. We are in the uh, Florian Triangle or the Devil's Triangle, where a lot of ships are sunken. There's like ghost ships,
Which is
treasure
essentially the
ships.
One Piece version of the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, it's basically the Bermuda Triangle. Um, we see a like skeleton on the ship, like a lone skeleton, and he's alive, and he starts talking to the crew. And immediately Luffy like climbs aboard, and he's like, "Oh, can you join? I want you to join our crew. You're neat." And he's like, "Oh, thank you, but I can't join your crew because my shadow was stolen." And this guy's name is Brook. We'll get to the characters later, but this guy seems important. Um, Mainly
Just
because he's
for
he's
now,
asked
I'll
like
just
right
put a
away, join our crew, please. Um,
I'll just put a picture of Brooke up for now.
yeah. Um,
There.
um, let's see. Um,
Because then once we get to each specific character, I'll put a picture of each one up.
I should have done that. So there is he joins the crew, but before that there is they find a barrel in the water that says treasure, and they're like, oh, this is a treasure for the sea gods. So they're like, if we open it, we gotta put more alcohol in there because they think there is alcohol in there. Open it, there's a flare that happens, it bursts, and they don't think anything of it. What they don't know is that it summons a ship to them, but they don't know this yet. But anyway, so Brick joins the crew, and then all of a sudden there are like weird ghost things on their ship, and the crew doesn't know what's happening. Um, and basically, the party gets split up. We have Nami, Usopp, and Chopper exploring the island, and while everybody else stays on the ship, and so they kind of go off on their own, and they meet a guy named Hilden, and they're offered a ride to this mansion. They're like, "Oh, sweet, a ride," because we don't like being. They're surrounded. They're in a graveyard basically. They don't know where to go, and they say they're talking and talking, but like, maybe we shouldn't be here. And so like they get abandoned in their carriage that they're in, which is really funny. Um, and then Nami's taking a shower in this mansion because they make it there on their own. And she gets attacked while she's showering by an invisible man and basically groped. And she's freaking out. Usopp sees her naked accidentally. He freaks out. Um, and she's they don't know what's happening. And even Usopp doesn't believe her when she says, "Oh, I was attacked by an invisible man." Blah blah blah. And Chopper's indifferent. He doesn't care about human females. Doesn't excite him at all. Um, let's see. Oh, and then they learn that there's a guy named Doctor Hogback is on this island. We'll get to him later. Um, and he's excited. He's like, "Oh, I know all about you." And he mentions that they greet each other. "Hi, how's it going?" There's a lab they can't go into, um, and then an old man. Uh, Basically, the rest of the crew is forced onto the land, and so Luffy and the rest of the crew they run into this old man. He's like, "Oh, can you defeat Moria for us?" But they're too scared to say his name. His name is Gecko Moria, and he is a warlord of the Seven Seas. All right. Let's see. They have a plan. They find out that this guy is stealing the shadows, so they want to get the shadows back. Um, there's a night raid that begins. Um, Nami, Usopp, and Chopper are captured, and Sanji goes missing. Let's see. The zombie generals are summoned. Um, Nami, Usopp, and Chopper escape a casket. Let's see. Uh, Sanji and Zoro are now zombies. Ooh, that's kind of freaky. There's a part where the breezeway is destroyed. Um, Nami, Usopp, and Chopper hide in Kumashi, who is another character, which is I love the Kumashi thing, but we'll get there. Oh, snow. Um, and we get introduced to Brook coming down. He's known as the Humming Swordsman, and he hums, and it sounds so fantastic. Um, we get a flashback to 5 years ago. Luffy escapes one of his cages. Luffy's shadow gets cut. Um, Hi, Melly. Dreams of Hogback, Absalom, and Perona and Moria. We all get to hear their dreams. Um, Salt, Luffy Shadow, and Oars awaken. Ooh, that sounds scary. And Frankie and Robin purify. So, I know I kind of went a little fast, but we're kind of trying to cut down on our time here. So, um, with all that said, let's go over the characters. Maybe we should have done that first. We're still figuring out
The
the
format.
best the formula for this, guys. So apologies for that. Um, all right, so we got Brooke, who is the skull guy. We got Thriller Bark, which is the name of the ship that they're on.
Oops.
We got a little guy named Hilden who has a giant wine bottle on his back that he carries at all times, I guess. Uh, Hilden, Dr. Hogback, which is you mentioned before, he is a
Here's the
doctor.
thriller bark.
Yeah. So this is actually Thriller Bark is actually the largest pirate ship in the world because it encompasses an island in the center of it.
And here's Hilden.
Ooh, Hilden! Wow. And he's like a bat kind of creature. Um, the other one was Dr. Hogback. So he is a renowned doctor that Chopper actually looks up to.
There's Dr.
And
Hogback.
like 10 years ago, he just disappeared to try to do his own work. And Chopper is a huge fan. He tries to get his autograph, and they try to talk about what he's doing. And he's just like, hey, I'm here. I'm trying to reanimate corpses and trying to see where that leads me and stuff. Um, so when they first meet, Chopper is very enthralled by him, and he fanboys over him basically. Let's see, next one is Sindri. She's a treat. She hates plates, and she's always constantly stepping in front of Dr. Hogback when he talks, which is hilarious. And one of her famous quotes is,
Your Cinder.
I hate plates, and you will not get married." Um, let's see. Then we got Absalom, who is this invisible man that's running around the island. He is like a half cat, I guess, half tiger,
It's more
something.
like a lion.
Lion. All right, cool.
There he is.
All right, cool. And Boonichuk, they say his name. So he is a zombie. He is a pig trapped in a picture, but it's not a picture. It's a wall mounted head kind of thing, and he's there, and he's
Yeah, I didn't come up with it with Moonachuk. So
uh Boonichuk.
you said
B
Moonachuk.
oh BUN. Oh, sorry, BUM. BU. I can't read my own. Yeah, BUNI. Sorry, Boonichuk. There it is. Da, 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 da. Sorry. Um,
Because I I I don't have the names written down, so I'm just going by what he says. And if he
yeah,
says it wrong, I'm gonna type it in wrong.
whatever. Yeah, yeah. You're blaming me for your mistakes. That's taking the high road, huh? Blaming me for all the mistakes. Come on now.
Okay, Ash.
Damn it! I forgot about that. Like seriously, I did. Um, then we got Gecko Moria, who is one of the seven warlords, and in one of the conversations Luffy was having about Gecko Moria, nobody wants to say his name, kind of like Voldemort,
There's
because they're all
Gecko.
scared of him. Like literally everybody on the island doesn't want to say his name; they just say Master. Um, and Luffy's not scared to say his name, and he was told like even he has a higher bounty than you do, and Luffy has a $300 million bounty at this point, which is insane. Um, let's see, Samurai Ryuma, who does a very awesome attack called the three pace hum notch slash. There he is,
But
and he's
speaking
one of
of,
the he's like a bodyguard pretty much.
they mention his backstory, which is a part of a one-off on One Piece, or which is actually a part of the very first story that Oda wrote before One Piece,
Well,
because it's on Netflix. Eventually, we can watch it. I'll ask Cat when he recommends to watch it,
oh
because
sure,
it's just it's just like a 20-minute episode, one episode.
yeah. By the way, if you're watching the Small Cat, it is your birthday in like a couple days, so
It it basically just shows the backstory of him,
oh okay, sweet, that's
because
fun.
they even mention it.
Mm,
They mention it in these episodes that he was from Wano and he fought a dragon.
mm, sweet, that's fun. All right, then we are introduced to Lola, Perona, and Kumashi. So let's do Lola first. Lola, her name was Lola.
Here's her current form.
Yep, that's what Lola looks like, and she is in love with the man, Absalom, the Invisible Man, who is constantly trying to get a new wife, and he believes he has found his new wife in the form of Nami.
And here's Perona.
That is Perona. She is the one with all the ghosts, that they see at the beginning. When they first land on the island, they see these ghost things and try to attack them, but they can't do anything. However, when these ghosts travel through them, um, it makes them super depressed. Yes,
And here's
that is
Kumashi.
Kimoshi. Did I say that right? Oh,
Kumashi.
Kumashi.
Yeah.
Kumashi. Um, I the thing that I love about Kumashi and Perona is that she's constantly telling him, "You need to be cute. You need to shut up right now." Um, However, there is a point where Usopp, Nami, and Chopper are running away from Absalom, and Usopp's like, "Oh, let's hide in here," and unknowingly they hide in Kumashi, and he's trying to tell everyone like, "I got these pirates inside of me," but every time he tries to talk, um, what's her name? Perona is like, "Hey, you shouldn't be talking. I told you to not talk." And he's like in a catch 22 situation where he can't do it, which is hilarious. This just works out so well, um, so much fun. Um, then we get to see Perona's Wonder Garden, which is a garden filled with beautiful, beautiful zombie cute creatures, um, which she is in charge of, and they do her bidding. It's great. Um, let's see. We are introduced to Mr. Spider Monkey. He has a name, but I just want to call him Spider Monkey. I don't know if it's more of a place than anything. I don't know if it'll actually show the picture.
It has a banner for it.
Yeah, that's not it. Anyways, we got Spider Monkey. Spider Monkey. There he is. He is a spider and a monkey. Hence the name Spider Monkey. Oh, did you see that coming? Holy crap! I did not see that coming.
Ryan is his actual name.
Tararan. Well, it doesn't matter, as I'm just gonna call him Spider Monkey. So in this arc so far, people, Luffy's party have been disappearing. So Sanji disappears and Zoro disappears, and you got Frankie, Robin, and Luffy wondering where the heck do they go. And we learn that later that there's like these little spiders that are following them, and they trap them in a web, so they can't move, and that's how they capture people and bring them to Gecko Moria, so he can um, take their shadows, pretty much. Um, then you don't have to look up this because we don't it's only a mention, but Moria mentions that he was defeated by Kaido in the New World, and that's why he is here on uh, the non-New World of the Grand Line, the easier part of the Grand Line. Um, and he was defeated by him. Then we were also introduced to Gyoro, Nin, and Bao, and those are three helpers, tiny helpers that directly work for um, Moria. Did I say his name right?
Yep.
Moria. We will go through the mines of Moria. That's what I think of. And the last one, which is great, it was number 900. The Devil Oars. Oars. And let's get a picture of that. That guy's cool. And basically, they're on this island, and they have been looking for a specific soldier, um, to fit the body of the number 900, who is a super gigantic, powerful creature that lived approximately 500 years ago. Dr. Hogback found him in some ice in like the Arctic or whatever, and They found his body, revived him, put him in a freezer where they could store him, and now he's finally awakened. And the stories say that when he took over an island, he would put the entire island on his back and bring it home with him. And he ruled over all these like islands that he brought with him, or whatever. Which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's freaking crazy. Um, all right, so that's it for the characters. There usually there's not this many characters, um, but the reason why it's taking so long is just because there's a lot of stuff and a lot of lore that happens. Um, let's see. Let's do some quotes next. Or no. Let's get into the shadow lore, and we can get into other things later. So the shadow lore, there's a lot of stuff that Brooke explains, and if you want to get in on this, you can too. But from what I understand so far, is I actually guessed this too, um, right after Sanji Zoro got captured, was that there's a shadow self and a shadowless self.
I don't know why I just did that.
Yeah, you could have taken the shorter route and just gone right. You know,
I did it for the camera.
you did it for the entertainment. Oh, I'll have some, please. He's pulling out a massive amount of $1 bills right now. Probably got it for Christmas or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna hand them to me. All three of them. Ooh. Anyways, we can cut that out if you want. Let's see.
There you
Fighter.
go. Oh no.
Oh, out of all that amounts of money, I got a whole dollar. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Roll a ship. I guess. Someone's supposed to spider mice. Zombie's soul. All right. So Brooke. Okay. Blah 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 blah. You can edit all that out, editor. It's all right. All right. So the zombies. Okay. I'm gonna throw this away because that's gonna bother me. So what we have here is Moria. We learned took the shadow fruit. I think that's what it's called.
Yep.
Is that what it's called?
I believe so.
Yep, the shadow fruit. Um, and Brooke took the revive fruit. Cool. Anyways, he took the shadow fruit. Oh, there's me. Ooh. And his ability, he can steal people's shadows and then put those shadows into an un into a deceased body, and he can revive it. And his goal is to become the king of the pirates himself, and he's doing that by using those three other people: Absalom, Perona, and who's the third one? Oh, Dr. Hogback, right. Uh, he's using them to build this massive army that he can use to gain lots of power and money and stuff like that. So um, Brooks explained it as he had like a flashback where he got captured, and he went at his island and his shadow got taken. He even faced his previous self, um, the part of a shadow that was in this undead body, turning it into a zombie. But you obtain your feelings and your powers. You maintain those, and everything else is controlled by the master. According to Brooke, you are more easily controlled as a shadow than you are as just a regular person. So he can have all these like super powerful beings and not have to worry about them turning on them. Did you roll one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just decided to randomly pick up a d20 and roll it. That one.
That's your luck for the rest of the year. Gotta wait till next year.
You mean the 2 weeks?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it can't last that long, right? Uh, what was I talking about? Oh, you're right. You get the power and your feelings. And let me go back to my notes because I wrote a lot. I wrote a lot down for this stuff, and this stuff is actually really fascinating to me. Um, they're known as death dolls, the inanimate corpses, and so Dr. Hogback's dream is to revive the number 900, and he's finally achieving his dream, which is great for him. Great, grand, wonderful. No yelling on the bus. Um, and he has collected all these corpses on his travels, and when they find new people, they put them in corresponding corpses. And if you are really powerful, um, then those skills transfer to the new body. However, if you have a weak body, your body can't hold up for very long. And maybe you're strong, but if your body is like small or whatever, it's not going to be as strong as you were when you were yourself. But the point of Moria is to find a super strong body with a super strong dead body with a super strong warrior and take the shadow out of that strong warrior, put it into this new body, and uh,
Control it.
you can control it, and they're even more powerful because now you have a bigger, stronger body, and you just have your basic instincts. So you have you have Sanji who doesn't want to hit a woman. You have Zoro who
Gets lost.
gets lost. He immediately gets lost right away, which is
And when he gets captured, you just like, oh, he just got lost.
yeah, exactly. Um, that,
And
that
that's what the crew thinks
they're
too.
like, oh, he got lost again. Oh, dang it. Um, and then you have Luffy when he gets put in the 900. The first thing he wants is meat. He's like, meat. That's one of my quotes. Meat. Um, and they want strong courtiers with legendary warriors. Uh, the Shadow provides personality and fighting abilities. Um, dreams of them. Does all right. And so, like the other part is um, what they do with the shadowless bodies now. So your shadow is stolen. Okay, what do you do with that one? Because you can't. That's the thing you can't control. You can't be in sunlight, otherwise you will get obliterated. And
They're basically
they
vampires
want
at that point.
yeah they basically want to get rid of the strong any strong warriors. They put them on their own ship and send them off into the Devil's Triangle or whatever it's called, and that way, if there's a small chance that they will find their way back because first of all they're trying to avoid sunlight, but it's being in this Devil's Triangle, it's hard to navigate as well. Um, that's what happened with Brook. His rudder was broken, so he was just kind of drifting in the sea for years and years and years. Okay, um, and you want to get rid of these people, but Brook was unique in the fact that he was the first one to actually come back. Um, he was knocked out and he got revived. Um, well, I guess he himself woke up basically, and he was able to sail back on his ship to the island to try to get his shadow back. And so basically, what happened is he found an ability that releases the shadow from the zombies, and everybody on this island. And this happened 5 years ago, so everybody on this island refers to it as the incident, basically. And we don't want the incident to happen, and they're scared of what is known as the humming swordsman.
Yep.
And he sings a beautiful song. And I listened to this in the English version and the Japanese version. The English version was better. Um, it's so weird how sometimes the English version is better. Usually not, in my opinion, but I liked it. So that was cool. Yeah, I'm gonna fitting this whole pizza in my mouth. Man, I want a pizza. Um, sounds so delicious. Doesn't a pizza sound delicious right now? I haven't had one in a long time. Anyways, um, what was I saying? I got distracted by pizza, by your memes. What was I saying? Derp derp. What was I talking about?
The humming swordsman.
Oh, thank you. Humming swordsman. So you can get on this whenever you want, man. If you wanna come in. All right. Oh, Jane Silent Bob. Oh, those are the real ones. Those are the fake ones. Real ones for sure. Oh, he took off his beard. That's because he can do that. That's just what he does, you know.
Just go fuck some pies.
Jason Biggs.
Jason Biggs.
Yeah. um, sorry. Um, anyways, so he tells Frankie and Robin uh, that salt is the magical thing that zombies don't like. Also, fire. The zombies are weak to fire and they're weak to salt. And the salt, if you put the salt in their mouth, their shadows come up. And Brooks' logic is actually sound because he figures that okay, well, Moria took this devil fruit, the shadow fruit, and salt being part of the ocean um, count stops the devil fruit's power. So when it goes into a zombie's mouth, that stops the power, and now the shadow can be released and go back to its original body. So there's that.
That's also just going by like regular ghost lore, because ghosts in regular lore don't like salt,
I did not know that. So now I will carry salt wherever I go, just to ward off the ghosts.
and that is mainly because it's earth. It's like an earth form.
Okay. So it. So yeah. Maybe that'll stop Corona, right? I don't know.
If I remember right, I know that that's true in the show Supernatural.
Mm. All right. So anyways, uh, so that's the basically the lore of the shadow stuff. We now know how it works, and we now know
Because
do we.
salt is pure. That's
Okay.
why by the lore. It has been considered that impure spirits, such as ghosts or demons, cannot cross it or are repelled by it.
All right. Sweet. All right. So
I
that
only looked
was
at it because I knew it was going to bother me.
yeah. And so I did have a question of why can Brooke remove shadows, but that was immediately answered, which was nice. Um, oh, we learned the samurai is from Wano County in the New World.
Country.
Oh, yeah, I read that wrong. County of
Wano country.
Wano Country. Ha ha ha.
And that's what I was talking about earlier with the with the 20-minute episode that was Oda's the first thing he wrote before he created One Piece was Ryuma is based on that short story.
Okay, we're at like 50 minutes, so let's in the next 10 minutes let's try to wrap this up. Make it an hour. Okay, so we did all the green. We didn't do. Oh, there's very little attacks. The only other attack we had the three pace, hum notch, slash. We saw that twice, which was really cool. Then we see Usopp's Viper 6 star, and it's really funny because Chopper still believes that Soga King and Usopp are different, and he sees Usopp pull out the Kabuto, his giant slingshot thing, and and Chopper's he's like, wait a minute, why does Usopp have that slingshot? What's happening? It's just great. I love that. Uh, yeah, we got the Kumashi Zip It, which is great. She's like, don't talk, but there's the people we're looking for inside of me. No, don't talk. I don't want to hear anything from you. Um, and then we have Brooke with the best entrance ever. Um,
This is the title. Monsters 103 Mercies Dragon Damnation.
oh, sweet. Yeah, we'll watch that at some point, I suppose.
I asked Matt or Mulcat what he recommends.
All right, sweet. All right, so there's some other cool things that we learned. Luffy asked Brooke as soon as he meets him. He's like, I have so many questions for you, and he's like, oh, what kind of questions? He's like, do you poop? And Brooke is like, not offended by this. Everybody else is, but he's like, yes, I do, cause I eat. And he makes some skull joke or whatever, which is great. Oh, then he says, "May I see your panties?" which is great. Um, and then Usopp. This is one of the most interesting ones. This is about devil fruit powers. Usopp. Speaking of devil fruit powers, we'll get right to that. Brooke um, took the revive
Revive.
fruit, and so he died. But when his soul went to heaven or whatever, because he was in the devil's triangle and it was all foggy, it took him a whole year to find his body again. So by then he was a skeleton, and that's why he is a skeleton that's alive, basically.
Because normally, when he died, the revive fruit would have just revived him.
Yeah, with his skin intact, but he just got unlucky. So, anyways, um, Usopp says two people can't possess the same devil fruit power, and that makes me think of okay, based off of one of the doctors when they were talking to what's his name, Sergeant Kobe. They were talking to Kobe and Helmeppo, and they were saying, oh yeah, this doctor guy,
Vegapunk.
Doctor Vegapunk, he some of his technology is making new devil fruits, and it's like okay, it makes me wonder if okay, they're not trees, so if they're fruits, do they come from a tree, and why are they all different? Like I was thinking oh, this tree has these different power fruits, this tree has a different one, and so it's like they're all different, but then if they're all different, then how do they know what power it comes from? It I have all these questions, which is fascinating. I know you may or may not know the answer, but it's fast. It's this mysterious thing of how does this all work? And there's new
I don't
information
think
and stuff like that.
it has gone into that, but you will get an explanation on like
More of the
how like some people may seem to have like the same devil fruit. You'll get a little more on that.
okay, because
That
it could be just an ignorant statement. He's like, well, in my experience, I haven't seen anyone with the same power, so maybe Usopp could be just guessing or whatever. He's just like, well, I haven't seen it, so that means it can't happen, right? Blah blah blah. Or maybe that's what he heard someone say,
because
but we just don't know the answer because there might be an actual answer for that.
the kind of answer to that is a big part of the Wano arc. Just say that much.
So we'll eventually get to it. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yep. Or at least if I have the memory, that's correct.
Okay.
Please, chat, don't correct me because that would be spoilers for him. I'm current on the manga.
Okay. Cool. The next quote is Luffy says, "If anything happens to my crew, I'll send you and this entire island flying." Boom. Next one, a random. This is a random zombie. He says, "I thought it was impossible for a zombie to defy its master's orders," and that's when Sanji didn't want
Fly,
to.
flat as fat as fly.
We're just watching a clip from
Mallrats.
Mallrats. All right, cool. Sorry, editor, that was strange. Um, so that quote that I just said, I thought it was impossible for a zombie to defy its master, was when Sanji was not wanting to beat up a girl. He's like, I will not do it. I don't care if it kills me. Um, oh, and then another really this is one of the best parts. So Lola is jealous of Nami, and she's out there to kill her. And Nami's basically gets cornered by Lola, and as soon as she's about to slash Nami, Nami's like, "I'm actually a man," and and she goes, "What? You're a man?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm just a crossdresser," and she's like, "Oh, okay." And she immediately compliments Lola, like, "Oh, I think you and him should be together. You guys are great together." And she starts crying. She's like, "Oh, you really think so? Oh, that's so great. No one has ever said that to me before." And just like staves off her. And Chopper believes that Nami is now a man. She's like, "Oh, I always thought something was with Nami. I mean, she is very masculine." It's just like, okay. Well, she did that to survive, basically, and it worked. And the last quote is from Zombie Luffy, Mito. Um, okay. I think I got all of them. Blue, green, orange, pink. Color am I missing? Oh, yellow. All right, the last one we'll go over a few things. This is just like the lore and stuff like that. We get a Brooks backstory. Um, no reflection. The shadow is stolen. Sunlight kills. Um, did that one. Zombies hate fire. Thriller Bark is the world's largest ship. Um, the night raid begins. Basically, the night raid is when all the zombies come alive to capture the people that are on the island. And that's what it is. My guess was correct with the shadow versus shadowless self. Um, then we got Perona's ghost network. So she must have a devil fruit power where she can control, um, uh, where she controls these ghosts, and these ghosts relay information um, to her. Spider mice, which are really cool. They're little soldiers of the spider monkey, and they do the work that they get into places that the spider monkey can't. Basically, um, talked about that, um, and salt. Oh, and then the dreams of Hogback, Absalom, Perona, and Moria. So they all have their own dreams, and each one was unique. So Moria wants to be the king of the pirates. Hogback wants to see his number 900 be used. Absalom wants to control the zombies, or be the king of the graveyard or whatever, and control zombies. And Perona, her dream is to control the cutest undead creatures. And so they're all like living live in their dreams, and it looks like it's gonna happen because Luffy got captured, and there's absolutely no way Luffy is gonna be freed. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but it's not looking pretty good right now. I'll tell you that. Oh, also, um, Robin can fly. Robin has wings. Yeah, she Cien Floor's wings. She can fly for about 5 seconds with her wings, but she can frickin' fly. And yes, that counts. That counts. Um, yeah, a lot of stuff happens. Apologies for the length of the video. I think there was just too much stuff to talk about to make it short. Um, I will try harder to organize it in a way that makes sense. Um, but this is our, you know, crawl, walk, run scenario. We're still in the crawling phase um,
And
of our
the
presentation.
the next two parts of Thriller Bark should be a little faster because
Lot less lore. What also didn't help was the fight between Ace and Blackbeard. There
and
was a lot of stuff in there.
um because pretty much the next second and third part shouldn't be much new characters. I can think of maybe one more character near the end. I won't say who, but yeah, I
All right,
think
cool,
I think it's mentioned him, at least mention him. I won't say who.
cool.
Uh, if you've seen Thriller Bark, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
You'll see in the last couple episodes.
All right, cool.
Because there's. I have a Zoro pop right here, and there's one part of this pop that he doesn't know that the character I'm alluding to causes that part. It wasn't spoiler.
I know, but you're saying stuff, and I'm entertaining the people who are like, oh.
I I
I don't like spoilers.
I made it so it wasn't any. I didn't say anything. I just alluded to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I didn't.
I
You wouldn't have
even the
understood
even
anything I said.
I know, but even the littlest detail, my brain will like attach to that and be like, and will actively look for that because I don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
That's just how my brain works.
Why do you think I turned this sideways so you can't look at it?
Yeah, I did that, and then I did this immediately. I was like,
Uh,
just it was just in case. It's all precaution.
One
But
last
I do that for
thing. I
a
did get
lot
a
of
bunch of
things.
One Piece pops. Got
For Xmas.
Yamato,
Yamato.
Big Yamato,
Dude,
Hungry
Yamato.
Big Mom, Snake Man Luffy, Zoro that I already showed, Monkey D or Luffy, regular Luffy. This isn't One Piece, but I also got a Black Asta, a Black Clover, a smaller Yamato, and another Big Mom with the homies.
The homies.
And we still don't know. We haven't. Second part of Thriller Bark will either be Christmas Day, around this time, 11 o'clock is our time. I won't be talking nearly as much because I'll be working Christmas. And that's only if I'm not too tired to sit at a computer. That if
Yeah, we can just cancel it. We could do it another day.
no, we let's try to do. I want to try to do Wednesday to just keep the schedule. Keep doing Wednesdays.
Okay. Oh, by the way, the schedule will be in the links below or whatever.
And if we don't do Wednesday,
Make
we will
some
do
posts.
Thursday before or after our weekly podcast. But it'll be the next 15 episodes of Thriller Bark. Uh, then join us tomorrow for our Basement Dwellers podcast. We'll go live about 10 o'clock ish.
Yeah, we got sports, and we got movie news, video game news. There's a specific game I want to talk about. It's not done yet. It is currently in development, which I find very fascinating.
And
It's about
then
World War One. So,
join us Saturday for our movie review that we don't know what we're reviewing yet.
oh right. I suppose it should. I suppose it could be a Christmas one. Um, I have another one that's non-Christmas that I want to watch. It's like a sci-fi one. I thought I was seeing on YouTube. It's just like, oh, this is a cool sci-fi movie, but The Matrix overshadowed it so much that people don't know about it. Trying to think of a good Christmas movie. I mean, we could do Bad Santa.
You know what? How about Saturday we do a twofer. Saturday we do Bad Santa. Sunday we do Bad Santa too.
Okay, that works.
Cause I'm off on Sunday.
I haven't seen Bad Santa 2. I
So
don't know.
yeah,
I don't know if it's good or bad, but the first one is great. It's one of my favorite
uh,
Christmas movies of all time.
so yeah, we can do.
Because it's rough and raunchy, and it has a very good message at the end. I love the message at the end.
Saturday we'll do Bad Santa. Sunday you'll get a double movie premiere review, and we'll do Bad Santa too.
All right, cool.
And then my next movie will probably be next week. Will probably be Crazy House.
Crazy House. Trying to think of what that movie was called. Let me pull it up here quick.
Uh,
Nope,
See
not this.
everybody
Nope.
tomorrow.
Fucking Christ. Monkeys.
And also, I
Oh
might
yeah.
be
No, we
streaming
haven't
the
even.
Fairy Tale game tomorrow.
Feel like retiring. God damn it.
I'll go live on my Twitch channel of the same name.